So we have a student who enjoys gardening, and they are gardening a sunflower plants and lily plants. Well, every sunflower plant requires zero point 0.8 liters of water, and the lily plant requires zero point 0.5 liters of water. Well, if the student only has a total of 11 liters, well, can you write an inequality representing this problem? Well, very simple, guys. The first thing we have to do is we need to use some letters to classify the two things we're talking about. The first thing we're talking about is a sunflower. And would it make sense to call it S for sunflower? So that's going to be our letter for sunflower plants. And what about lilies? Could we just call them L for lily? And now we're ready to begin our inequality problem. Well, how much water does the sunflower plant need? Well, we already discussed it takes 0.7 liters for every sunflower. So we're just going to put an S next to it. Because if there's one sunflower, multiply it by 0.7. That's all the water you need. If you have two sunflowers, put a 2 there times 0.7. That's all the water you need. And then we're going to add it to the lily plants. Each lily requires 0.5 liters of water. And remember, the letter L stands for lily. And we have a total of 11 liters of water. Well, here's the thing, guys. Can we go over 11 liters? No, because that's all we have. So which inequality symbol will be the best one? Would it be this one, less than? The left side has to be less than the right. Wouldn't that make sense? It kind of makes sense, actually. However, what about this one too? Less than or equal? Because couldn't we waste all the water we have? All 11 liters of it? Yeah, we could. So my inequality has to be less than or equal, because we can waste, or we can use less. We can use less than 11, or we can use exactly 11, but not more than that. And for question number 2, now they're asking, if the student waters 10 lily plants, how many sunflower plants can she water with the remaining amount? Well, let's use this inequality we just created. Let me write that down. 0.7s plus 0.5. Oops, what happened there? Little glitch. 0.5L is less than or equal 11. Well, we already told you there are 10 lily plants. So for every L, we're going to put a 10. So let's write this down. 0.7S plus 0.5. Instead of the L, we're going to put a 10. And let's rewrite everything else, less than or equal 11. Okay, guys, time to use some math. So we cannot do anything with this, so let's just bring it down. That will be 0.7s plus, what's 0.5 times 10? That's just a 5. Less than or equal 11. Well, guys, let's solve for s, see what happens. Well, let's move what doesn't have the letter s. We move it to the other side. 0.7s is less than or equal 11 minus 5. That's a 6. And then when we divide by 0.7, divide by 0.7, we'll use a calculator here. 6 divided by 0.7, that's actually S is less than or equal 8.57. Well, guys, if you were to turn this in as the answer, guess what's going to happen? It's actually going to be wrong, because check this out. This is a real situation, guys, and you need to understand what the S represents. The S represents the number of sunflower plants, right? Well, let me ask you a question. Can I have less than 8.57 sunflower plants? No, it's kind of crazy. We can only have a certain whole number of plants. We can either have 8 sunflower plants or 9 sunflower plants. Well, do we have enough water to plant 9 sunflowers? No, we don't. So as a result, my answer is actually, I can have 8 sunflower plants. I can have 8 or less. So 8 or less is the number of sunflower plants I can use, because that's all the water I have. Remember, I only had 11 liters of water.